Please not to bore you with standing, but please remain standing for a few seconds. As I make welcome to the microphone for the opening prayers from the Institute of African Studies, University of Nigeria, Reverend Father Dr. Chiduben Nwogidu. Father Nwogidu, please.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for bringing us together as one family. We ask you for your assistance, guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this conference. Help us to make meaningful discussions. Help us to understand one another. Father, we ask you to bring us closer to you when we interact for the good of our society. We pray that after this conference, we'll be enriched with your wisdom and also understand the society to make it better place for all of us, so that in the end, we shall all rejoice in your name through Christ our Lord. Amen. Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let me officially welcome you to the Grace Okonkwo Foundation in collaboration with the Department of English, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Ibadan campus in Anambra State. And it's all about the 4th International Hybrid Conference with the theme, Democracy and the Rule of Law in 21st Century Africa, a multidisciplinary reflection. It promises to be very engaging this morning, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, let me make some recognitions, please. If you notice, a powerful traditional ruler is being led to the high table right now. He is no other person than His Royal Highness, Igwe GFO Asado Okudo I of Nsukka Asado. Kaitolia Igwe. Oh yes. Okudo. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me go ahead to properly recognize the dignitaries at the high table. And of course, I will be punctuating this event with recognitions as events unfold. But for now, let me inform you that the keynote speaker is here in flesh and blood. A man who has seen it, he saw and he conquered it in the academic terrain of the Department of Political Science globally. Today, he is the Vice Chancellor of Enugu State University of Science and Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, let us appreciate Professor Aloysius Michael Okolie. Please come in, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yes, oh yes. Thank you, thank you. All right. Let me also recognize the presence of the lead paper presenter, another lead paper presenter, Professor Gaji Fatima Dantata. She is ably represented today by Dr. Sanusi Kali. Please appreciate it. Appreciate it. I can assure you today it is a beehive of vice chancellors, as we have a reputable professor from the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University of Nigeria, and of course the former vice chancellor of Imo State University. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Aka in the building. Oh yes. Oh wow. Okay. Let me continue with my recognitions, ladies and gentlemen, to inform you that the chairman of this occasion belongs to the Department of Political Science, University of Nigeria, one of the tallest professors in this university. Ladies and gentlemen, if you clap, Professor Ifeanyi Chukwu Abada will stand up. Oh yes. Thank you. Thank you, Prof. We appreciate you. And of course, from the School of General Studies, talking about the use of English units. And of course, we have a professor of English from that reputable unit. I'm talking about Professor Ogenyi. Thank you, Prof. It's an all-white affair at the high table, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. We appreciate you. And of course, let me make random recognitions. I'll continue with that as events unfold, like I said, to inform you that from the Department of Foreign Languages and Literary Studies, University of Nigeria, we have Dr. Victor Asado. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and of course, we also have from the Institute of Management and Technology, better known as IMT in Enugu, a lecturer from the Department of Language Studies. Ladies and gentlemen, Grace Mwasowa. Thank you. Thank you. It would be nice if we see you, right? If we mention your name, you can stand. So people will, we are here to network as well. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm still in Enugu town this morning. Let me go to the Enugu State College of Education Technical, better known as EXCET. From the Department of English in that institution, we have Dorothy Ogochukwu Eze. Are you here? Thank you, madam. Yes. Thank you. And of course, let me also tell you that we also have a multilingualist in the building, a lecturer in the Department of Foreign Languages and Literary Studies, University of Nigeria, Ebuka Ude. Ebuka Ude, are you here? We appreciate you. I think he's running around. Okay. And of course, from the Department of Theater and Film Studies, we have, of course, a man who has said it all, a thespian, a stage performer. He is Associate Professor Uche Mozuzu. Yeah, appreciate you, Prof. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, I recognize the person that the opening prayer from the Institute of African Studies, Reverend Father Dr. Mwakidu. Thank you. And of course, still from the Institute of African Studies, we also have Dr. Ibe Ibeneku in the building. Doc, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'll take you right away to the Department of English and Literary Studies, University of Nigeria, to announce the arrival of the current #1 citizen of that department, the brightest professor. I'm talking about complexion now. The brightest professor from that faculty. Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree when she stands, Professor Stella Okoye Ugu in the building. I was expecting this occasion. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let me also inform you from that same department, the Department of English and Literary Studies, University of Nigeria, that Dr. Kate Ojukwu is also here. Dr. Kate Ojukwu, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. DJ, I'll continue to make recognitions as events unfold. And of course, another giant Iroko just stepped into the building, a former Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Professor Polika Chibu. Let's appreciate him, please. Let's appreciate him. Thank you. Okay, now let me recognize the Vice Chancellor of Results entourage. The Deputy Vice Chancellor of the Enugu State University of Science and Technology, ESUT, is here. He is no other person than Professor Chike Nwoke. I hope I pronounced well. Is it? Okay, they have. Sorry. Please, Professor Chike Nwoke in the building. Thank you, Prof. I admire your gray hair. Thank you. Okay, the registrar of that same university, Enugu State University of Science and Technology. I'm talking about Mr. Ambrose Ugu, the registrar. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The librarian of the Enugu State University of Science and Technology is not left out. The VC with his entourage. I'm talking about Dr. Ifani Ezeba. All right. This is one particular office I like to recognize in a special way because they handle money. The bursar of Enugu State University of Science and Technology. Boss, I hope you came with your ATM. Okay, the bursar, Dr. Augustine Oje. Am I correct? Thank you. Thank you, sir. The PA to the Vice Chancellor of Enugu State University of Science and Technology is also here, talking about Dr. Jonathan. Okay, Dr. Jonathan Okolie, please. Thank you. Thank you. PA, are you with your complimentary card? I will need it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I will now go to Anambra State to recognize the presence of the #1 citizen of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Igbariam Campus, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Greg Nwakobi. The chief host, please. Professor Greg Nwakobi, the chief host. Let's clap for her in a special way. Thank you. You are representing him. Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, the Vice Chancellor is represented by Dr. Fidelia A. Okeke. Dr. Fidelia Okeke. Thank you so much, madam. She is the head of the Department of English, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, the Igbariam Campus. A Gramadian. Thank you, Doc. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. We are about to go traditional right about now, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, the presentation of Kulanot. The DJ, you put us in the mood, put us in the traditional mood, please. Once I hear traditional music, I start speaking Igbo. DJ, are you ready? If you are ready, I'm ready, Mr. DJ. Thank you.
Ndị bịara ka anyị alụ anụ steeti nụ anyị nwere ọtụ n'ihu ugwe onye ekwofu ikwe ikwe ihe anyị nweta na asa ndị ekwesị ọjọọ chairman of the group of project. The gist of it. Oh, I represent No. Is that right? Over here represents the whole of Northern region. Over here.
Faculty of Education here. Mama is the one Mama I didn't get rid of what I might take it with. Today, Mama. People can move, people can lie, people can more, I can make two more. So go ahead upon a ship of wine. I'm making Papa, and she a baby teacher, my car, the new primaire, Lagos, everywhere, I'm the man. Who is the job? Take a major and a lot of don't know. So, yes, the head managed. People not even know this. In another for my attorney. Today about the Kaitana, Tatan to Tatina, Jesus Christ, anyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. The ushers, please, you can help with the sharing of the cola. DJ, continue. Give me something traditional, please. Mr. DJ. All right, it is now time for the chairman's opening remarks, but before that, let me, in a very profound way, recognize the presence of a woman who I consider a mover and a shaker, the convener of this particular program. She has done it back to back to back to back, all right? So, I'm talking about a professor of English and a practicing lawyer. Can you beat that? Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not busy, please, let's appreciate in a very profound way, Professor Florence Onyebuchi Orakwese. Oh yes, keep clapping. I'm not satisfied, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, thank you. And the chairman of the local organizing committee, an indefatigable professor of history and international studies from the University of Nigeria. I'm talking about Professor Victor Ukoko in the building. Prof, thank you. Thank you. What you cannot do with organizations does not exist. Thank you. We appreciate you. And of course, the secretary of this LOC, talking about Dr. Uche Okonkwo, we also appreciate you. Mr. Secretary, are you here? All right, I'll continue to make recognitions, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time to invite to the microphone for his opening remarks the chairman of this occasion. He is a two-time minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief John Nyawodo, but we understand he's not feeling fine, and that is why he has appointed a giant, and of course, the current head of the Department of Political Science, University of Nigeria, to represent him, and I believe he will do justice to this opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, if you clap, Professor Ifeanyi Chukwu Abada will address you. Oh yes.
Well, let me start first of all by welcoming every one of us to this occasion. This occasion, by my rating, is very grandiose. And I want to start, first of all, by appreciating the host and the convener, my sister and my friend, Professor Valesa Chief Mrs. Oladeze. Well, let me appreciate those at the high table, my friend and my colleague, and one of our own, Professor Michael. Professor Michael, is the current Vice Chancellor of History. And you and welcome. Igwe, you're welcome. I also want to recognize the three presenters, the person coming from the north, and others coming from our side, even from Chukwuemeka, who is also a chief host, or partnering with the convener. You are welcome. And others, the high table. I welcome all of us, and whatever you are important. So you are welcome. There is a there set aside for intellectual exercise. I'm looking at the topic on the local schedule of 21st century Africa. And this is the fourth international conference organized by this foundation. It's not easy. I want to thank my sister for sustaining this conference on a yearly basis. This is something, an activity that most faculties and departments find it problematic to organize. But this single lady has taken upon herself with her friend movers to make sure that people within and outside the university and even the national benefit from this intellectual exercise. We want to thank you, and we also want to ask you to sustain it. Most departments have not been able to do it. Most faculties have not been able to do that. But I'm aware, and there is no, that wherever the mother is, she will be proud of you. This is a thing most who want to do, they will not do. They have done it. Also want to thank those who have been supporting her. You know, she's a mover. Anyone that does not know what she can do, she'll come and ask me. She's a mover, she's a checker, and she carries some people around. That's why many people are here. Even outside the university, I see the number of persons that are here. This is what we call mentorship and mentoring. If you believe in her, you will reach the height she is in now. What you need to do is to be loyal. Obasanjo said that 100% loyalty is important for you to learn. A teacher teaches, a student cannot teach a teacher, but it's only teacher and teach his learning. Those that came from far away, you have seen the environment. You are in a nice environment. Usuga is good. Most people don't want to leave Usuga for the environmental issue. Somebody came the other day, I was discussing to say that the wife or she was here till then here, and nothing happened, and she enjoyed every bit of her stay. Likewise, as we have come, we don't have any fear. We don't have militants here. We don't have militants. And therefore, we will ask and with the environment, make sure we make our solutions. By the time we listen to the presenter, we want all people to know the direction that she will ask us to go to. And then on that, we will comply. I want to thank you and welcome you once again. And I have all time to receive for. Thank you very much.
Let's appreciate our chairman, please. Thank you. Thank you. That was Professor Ifeanyi Chukwu Abada from the Department of Political Science, UNN. Let me make just two recognitions before I invite to the microphone the Vice Chancellor of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University for his opening remarks. From the ICT Unit, Office of the Vice Chancellor, University of Nigeria, a deputy director from that office is here in flesh and blood. Ladies and gentlemen, Engineer Sikiru Salawu. Thank you, sir. A fine gentleman. We appreciate you. Let me inform you that students are also here, all right? And all the way from Kogi State, the conference state, we have the National Association of Kogi State Students, better known as NACOS, UNN chapter, and their president is Ojobi Paul Ochechebe. Thank you. Thank you. Aluta continua. Thank you. All right, so it is now time to invite to the microphone the Vice Chancellor of Chukwuemeka Odume Ojukwu University for his opening remarks. Because she is, the Vice Chancellor is represented by the Head Department of English, Dr. Okeke, please. Let's appreciate her.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I stand here on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Gregory Chukudi Makobi of University, Ibadan campus. By the grace of God, I'm the HOD of English department. And we are here collaborating conference with the Grace Uzoma Okonkwo Foundation. A welcome address by HOD, representing the Vice Chancellor. On behalf of the LOC, Grace Uzoma Okonkwo Foundation and English Department COOU Ibadan, I appreciate our kind-hearted, considerable, progressive-minded Vice Chancellor, Professor Grace Chukudi Makobi, for approving our request for collaboration in conferences and journal publications with this foundation. Let me quickly appeal for your understanding and kind consideration by our Vice Chancellor, who is unavoidably and regrettably absent in this great occasion. He has, however, directed that I represent him in the event. So I wish to also thank the Vice Chancellor, Enugu State University of Science and Technology, Professor Aloysius Michael Okoye, for preparing the keynote paper to this conference. In a special way, I thank also Mrs. Florence Orameze, Adani Orama Adeje Denver, the convener whom God used to lay a solid foundation upon which we are building today. She is, of course, the founder of IGUOF. In brief, this foundation is aimed at organizing yearly international conferences and publication of papers in each journal called Obodobodo, which to a large extent help in mentorship, development, and growth of academics, particularly the young ones across the globe. Professor Okoye Ugu, HOD, English and Literary Studies, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. We appreciate you for your support to this foundation. I thank all the royal fathers of the day, His Royal Highness Igwe GFO Asadu, Ogudo of Nsukka Asadu, and His Royal Highness Igwe Barrister RSN Eze Ochendo of Obige Oguba. Chairman of this event, Chief Nia Modo, is respectfully welcomed and appreciated, even though he sent a representative. I thank our special guest of honor, Emeritus Professor L. Anasio. You are welcome, sir. Your presence is highly recognized and appreciated. Professor Michael Aloysius Okoye for accepting and doing justice to the task of keynote presentation, which we are eagerly waiting for. I am most grateful to our lead paper presenter, Professor Gaji Fatima Jantatan, who has also sent a representative, Professor Steve Ebo and Barrister Mrs. Neka, Waneka, T. Okolo, for identifying with this foundation, as well as the Department of English, COO Ibarian. Thank you all for accepting to craft the panel or the conference theme. It is said that it is good to give than to receive. I therefore appreciate the following philanthropic piece: Ambassador David Gabriel in a monarch, Minister Chinedu Agora, Dr. Mrs. Linda Abraham Onyekwedo, Engineer Nnemeka Obiora, for their philanthropic virtues exhibited in supporting this conference. The NOC Chairman, Professor Victor Okarogo, you are appreciated for your initiatives, commitment, and ability to carry other NOC members along. Collective efforts yield success. Thank you very much. Members of the Grace, Uzamo Kongo Foundation and Department of English, COOU Ibarian, AOC, that is the committee, some of them Dr. Uche Okonkwo, Secretary, Leo Onyemuche is the Secretary, Constantine is the Assistant Secretary, AOC, Dr. Asika Ikechukwu Emmanuel, and we thank you all for meeting the terms of references, for this conference. Thank you all the lecturers from different schools in this country and outside the country for getting triggered by the theme and sub-themes in order to meet the identified problem in the board. My dear students, you are all welcome. Thank you for having the keen interest to be mentored and to grow academically. Other members of subcommittees, PROs, media, cultural, welfare, and others, you are not left out. We appreciate you so much. I thank everybody. As we all engage in the interesting paper presentation after this opening ceremony, I wish you all a very awesome experience and favorable weather. I trust that God will lead us all home safely at the close of this year's conference. Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Dr. Okeke, the Head Department of English, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu, Ojukwu University, Igbariam campus in Anambra State. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. Let me recognize the Managing Director of Sonafem Agencies Limited, Engineer Nnemeka Obiora. Engineer Nnemeka Obiora, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. Now, it is now time to invite the convener of the 4th International Hybrid Conference of the Grace Uzoma Okonkwo Foundation. Today, a lecturer, a professor, and a lawyer. Ladies and gentlemen, for her opening remarks, let's welcome to the microphone Professor Mrs. Chief Barrister Florence Onyebuchi Orabwese, please. You can't stop clapping until she grabs the microphone. Let's encourage you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this.
Good afternoon, everybody. Nigeria had just had an election. And we know the crisis before the election, during the election, and after the election. And in my own way, I said, how do I help the nation? It is the responsibility of the academics, who are researchers, who are scholars, who can go into their libraries and their labs to find solutions to existential problems of the society. And I, as the LOC of the Grace Uzoma Okonkwo Foundation, and the members of the Department of English, University, put our heads together and decided to start democracy and the rule of law in the 21st century Africa. A multidisciplinary reflection. And we decided that we need advocates who can do justice to the topic. We assembled again people whose profiles are already in the public domains. So give us the way. Because if you go to every part of Africa, there are crises. Crisis of wars, crisis of violence, crisis of criminalities, crisis of death, crisis of diseases, crisis of poverty. And also the crisis of genocide. From sub-Saharan Africa to East Africa, to South Africa, to North Africa, everywhere there is crisis. And we know that crisis is also related to that. And we call the best people I thought to be the best to handle the situation. I once again thank the Vice Chancellor of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu, a professor of international law, Professor Greg Chukwuemeka. He was having here today, but his cousin is being better today. He sent his felicitations and sent the head of the department to the president. Appreciate what we are doing and give us the platform to partner with us, which is the pattern. In order to find a solution to this problem of democracy and the rule of law, he said we should bring back one of our own a man that we are proud of, a man who I regard as being very fearless. This is mine. Our own energy to Enugu University of Science and Technology. The man who has already put a smile on the faces of his workers there. If you go to history, the mountains of death, they were keep for this purpose. Who for the past 6 years, Esut did not have any convocation. But within 6 months, this man is all here. I was there. Right. A man who, even as the dean of the Faculty of the Social Sciences, was always coming to ask. But when they make it to this, but even small appointment of patient, they run away, don't see them because they don't want their voice. This is a man who can tell you what he says what he means and means what he says. In the person of Professor Aloysius Michael, he will usually on the team of the conference. People who come there can do. There are also many defenders of democracy and the rule of law in this country. We went to the north because I believe that we are all one, despite the castles and the traumas that politicians are subjecting. We went to the north. We built a satellite in the north and brought out one of the women, one of the advocates, one of the human rights activists, a professor in the faculty of Bayero University, a former commission, the wife of a former governor, and the established state. I'm talking about no other person than Her Excellency Professor Eddie Fatima and Professor. He is representing us today. He's coming today to be represented by our son. If you see this man here, and what he has been doing for our brothers and sisters who went to law school in Kano. Doctor, stand up. I went to Kano to see them, and he told me that our people are at Nigerian law school. Is it not? And they provided tables. And we went there and saw our sons and our daughters from everywhere from people, and even from our university. With the former governor of Kano State, he made the arrangements for our children in Kano to visit His Excellency senators. Check it out. The former governor of Kano State and a senator to visit the children. They came to his house at GI. And like I said before, he studied with his PhD in the Faculty of Education. Yes. Please, let us listen. He's always here to present at the back. We also search again, build and satellites on one of also the best. Another scholar, Professor Steve Ebu, Executive Director administration and training. And while you were saying, I had someone that I said, please, we want you to be here to help us to contribute to each scholarship. And he has been here since yesterday, all the way from Abuja to present. Then we have also the right of the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Nigeria. Another, I see her everywhere, talking about human rights and the rights of the marginalized. The due respect are men, the women and the self and the poor. She has been here today, but she used to be the immediate past national president of Catholic Women Organization. They have traveled to Rome to see. So I told her to pray for us. She said something. So these are the people that look at the different dimensions of democracy and the rule of law. And I said, for such international scholars and human rights activities to be here, we need also to assemble the first to deal with them. The chairman was or is Chief Mayor Wood, the two-time minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the President General of Canada. That's one of the items. And today, he is being represented. So I called my brother yesterday, before yesterday, and to come. They is being represented by no other person than the former chairman of ASU, the present head of department of political science, and an ambassador. You may not know why I am very close to this man. You may not know it. But I think it is time for me to tell you today why I always respect you. During the time of our own promotion, very frustrating back in. I don't want to mention names, but a non-academic staff was trying to, when Osupa wanted to help us to vote. A non-academic staff was trying to on that. That's why I tell academic staff, help yourself, like yours. If your brother is not getting it, help your brother to get it. And that is the reason for organizing these conferences and the publishing. And he was there. Let me tell you that even as a senior lecturer, he was able to bulldoze his way to persuade Professor to promote more than 90-something lecturers. You know that we were promoted by 2016, updated to 2011. So he didn't say because I'm not in the category of people that will take professor. I will work with it. I will always do it for that. Yes. And I said that the special guest of honor is an international figure. A man that is known all over the world when you talk about the art world. The representative of Africa in the world. His artworks sell for millions of dollars. And one of the lecturers here, emeritus professor, Anasui, as the special guest of honor. We give honor to whom honor is there. Also said that we cannot be here and speaking without looking back to get the blessings of the owners of the land. If you are doing something and the owners of the land are going to give you your fork and go to do it, you're wasting your time. We still believe in our tradition, is it not? So I call on my father, the man that gave me chieftaincy title. After what you saw, I did at the University of Nigeria President. He's no other person than our father. His Royal Majesty. Iwe GF wo aside. I thank you, and you can see how our vice chancellor is working. If you see how happy some of them have already told you, Jesus is not better than home. I'm like you. Jesus is not. And when somebody was contesting, I said, look at what these 3 men information are doing. I said, look at the eyes. Are they not happy? They're happy. They used to quarrel with the administration and the government. But now, the government is already speaking. Jesus is also, you don't hear education there. Even the students, they're now resting, and everybody is happy. Nobody is happy. I thank you for coming with members of your administration. I greet the Deputy Vice Chancellor from ESO. I also greet the President of the university. I greet also the registrar, and I greet all the people that came to the opening remarks. Without the people's backing, the person is just. First of all, I give thanks to God, the Almighty God. I was telling him, please, I would like to shift this again. Let's not fall the time to those at all. And I said again, God, I would like the rain to be falling when this thing is coming, so I don't want my people to be running that basket. I mean, okay, is the sun not smiling at us? Hallelujah! Hallelujah! If you are close to God, you can push him as I am pushing the vice chancellor, the former vice chancellor of Imo State University. This is our father. During the crisis of the selection of vice chancellor, the government forced him to put order with the House of Commission. First, the people. I also thank the former DPC of this university, a very dynamic man, a very good man, in the name of Professor Wale Chimu. Wale, you decided to stay in Lockwood, that we can see you from there. The LOC chairman, Victor, the secretary, or the secretaries, the members of the LOC, the members of the board of the Department of English, my HOD, my friends, the director, deputy director, ICT, my colleagues in the department, my people from the Institute of African Studies, the members of the university community, I can see all of you. My PhD students, lions and lionesses. Lions and lionesses. Lions and lionesses. I can see all of you. I'm proud of you. The idea. It's not that I can see you always supporting your auntie. You are a wonderful philanthropist. I thank you. Every day, always say, Mommy, I'll help. Everybody can also see you. Very wonderful people that are always supporting me to make sure that we go through. The members of the NTA family, I cannot thank you enough. Make sure that this program capture it well and let it be all that. So that people will know that we are working. I thank you all. Let me stop here because I think the speaker has something That's somewhere to do something. Thank you, my friend. I bow.
Keep clapping, please. We will stop until she sits down. I think this conversation is going to take time. Thank you.
Please, I've got the brief. You know that for me, I take everybody along. And I hope others can understand. Don't listen to our politicians that try to divide us. Look at the one of our newspaper presenters, Professor Steve. You can go up the microphone. You can take my seat. He has been here since. You are okay. So I invited the members of the Muslim community here, and I've been told that I'm here. Please, I'm sorry for the oversight. Welcome, welcome, and welcome.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate the convener of this program, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, while the convener was delivering her opening remark and their welcome address, the Provost, College of Medicine, Enugu State University of Science and Technology walked in a very gigantic manner. Incidentally, my namesake. My name is Frank, and let me welcome Professor Frank Ezuku, please. Thank you, Prof. We appreciate you, a professor of medicine. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Kogi State University, we also have the head department of English and Literary Studies from that very university. But currently, I understand he is on sabbatical at the University of Ibadan. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Associate Professor Anthony Obachi. Thank you. Thank you. A young professor, as it should be. Thank you. We appreciate you. Okay, so this is the time for the reading of the citation of the keynote speaker, talking about the Vice Chancellor of Enugu State University of Science and Technology, ESUT, Professor Michael Aloysius Okolie. I understand the citation will be very brief, so we'll proceed with other activities of the day. To do justice to this to this citation is a professor of history and international studies from the only university that bears the name of this country, the University of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Professor Victor Ukongo, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me continue with the existing protocols established earlier in the day. Yes, most of us we want to go to some other place. It's very difficult when you are called to read dissertation of giants in many fields, not just in a particular field. Being a giant is not just where you are acquired degree. You're a giant where you have impacted on
Thank you.
people. You have made people part of yourself. So I won't be able to read out all that I have here, but let me just be very brief to say that Professor Aloysius Michael Okolie is a professor of political science with a specialization in international relations. And as we speak, he currently occupies the position of the Vice Chancellor of Enugu State University of Science and Technology. He's becoming a Vice Chancellor did not come overnight, but obtaining his third degree in the Department of Political Science and Administrative Studies from the University of Port Harcourt, where he came out with second class upper division. That was in 1988 or thereabout, and graduated with the second class, like I said. And thereafter, he came to the University of Nigeria to pursue master's degree and products of the Department of Political Science. And thereafter, he came out very successfully in the program. But he came out with a distinction in 1996, and hence became an expert in the field of international relations. Now, his expertise can be gleaned from several areas, especially the foreign policy making and implementation. And then on August 16, 2001, he successfully bagged a PhD in political science from the same University of Nigeria, specializing in international relations. So of course, he joined the services of the University of Nigeria as an assistant lecturer. That should be June 20th of the year 1997. I will skip a number of places, but let me say that Professor Aloysius Okorie was the 92nd inaugural lecturer of the University of Nigeria. He was the 92nd inaugural lecturer. So the title of the lecture was very interesting: Politics of Development and Underdevelopment. Different people, same market, and the glorification of poverty. Glorification of poverty. Even though you're listening to me now, I don't know how you can glorify poverty. If you can ask the professor when he comes up, tell us how we can glorify poverty. Professor Okorie created a number of professional associations, including his own very area in political science. Quite a number of the associations he has been a head, including the national president of National Political Science Association between 2018 and 2021. This position, he held it till June 2021. And as we speak this morning or this afternoon, Professor Okorie is the second vice president of Social Science Academy of Nigeria. Professor Okorie was the immediate and pioneer director of the Joint Universities Preliminary Examination Board, the one you call the University of Nigeria. The position he held for 4 solid years and 7 months. Indeed, Professor Okorie served as the Dean of Faculty of Social Sciences. He was the immediate past chairman of the governing board, Enugu State College of Education Technical. Among other critical assignments and community development or services he has executed, this will include the service coordinator of household survey and small arms and light weapons, which he coordinated under the presidential committee. He did this excellently well. Excellently well. If you know what small arms and light weapons, the danger it has posed for people. Now, let me just say completely, there's so much to say, that Professor Okorie is a veteran of sorts, several local and international conferences and workshops, and presently has 112 publications. Including the ones you want, one they call it backpack. White men, they have a way of extracting money from them. You have to pay 500,000 to publish a 2-page paper. But the man we are celebrating this afternoon has 112 of such publications, and I'm not sure it's even there. Thank you very much. And in doing that, let me say finally that in appreciation of the valuable contributions to community development, industry, and land-grabbing accomplishments, Professor Luscious Michael Okoli was conferred with the traditional title of SSC Nachiwan of Village. This man of little words, with great capacity to do more than he believes that he can do, is married to Mrs. Uchenna Laurencio Okoli. Married, blessed with wonderful children. Four wonderful children. Those children are also, they want to take after their father. So, having said this, let us call it the
Let's appreciate him as he comes. Of Enugu State University of Science and Technology. Please sit down. Let me have this slide. Let me start by appreciating all of us. And I only enjoyed us to forgive me for not starting to introduce ourselves because of time. But if I just say, let's stand by existing protocol. When I want to leave, my VC here from Osaka, they arrest me. When I only want to leave, Professor Mark will be the VC of Odumegwu University, will not be happy. And again, our father and one of my mentors, who has been hiding since we came here at the back, Professor Chibu, will never be happy. And the person that brought us here, Professor Orabeze, the correct pronunciation is Orabeze. Yes, sir. Will be very, very bitter with me. Even if they take light, I will say what I want to say. Now, let me appreciate all these our colleagues. Appreciate my principal officers. I think the best way to end this lecture is to use them as a demonstration. If we're not working like a team, they will not be here. They are here because of the democratization of university administration. The basic problem anywhere you have a group of people, mankind, is about the pattern, the character of administration. And that problem has to do with choosing between two things. Having immediate gain, which will be ephemeral, and having long-term gain, which will sustain you and your children and your generation all through your life. The democratization process using them has to do with taking all decisions, bringing them on board, and getting them to guide. There's no way anybody will claim to know everything. So what we adopted in essence as a model for democratization of university administration had to do with collegiate administration. Yes. But the only missing link between ESUT and maybe several universities in administration is having the courage to implement what you have agreed upon. And knowing when to say yes and when to say no. And not being afraid to say no when you must say no. And not being afraid to do what yes says you do. That has been the basic missing link. So we appreciate all these police officers, appreciate my colleagues, appreciate Professor Ramezi for journeying to and finding a home that accepted to collaborate. I've been asked to speak on a very difficult area, democracy. But the only thing I have to tell us is that we have eaten into our time. So I'm going to be as brief as possible, because I have another function, 1 o'clock. And incidentally, when you tell me time in this, if I have Senate meeting, if you say 11, I will be there 11 with principal officers. The forum, I have redefined forum. The reason is that the white men that brought the redefinition and definition of whatever barrel is at their convenience. So culturally, what is the forum? The forum means time in a suit. So if I enter Senate, if I have 2 persons, I'll start the meeting. And it will help me to take major decisions before the other crowd will arrive. So having said this, I have decided to point what I want to speak, and I'll speak on it. If I speak slide by slide, we are not going to go. Permit me to just give you the highlights of what I prepared, both in the slides and in the paper I've sent to Professor Rabet. When you talk about democracy, and before that democratization, I'm pleased to report to you that these my principal officers came here humbly. If we wanted to come the way we should be coming, they would have come with their vehicles, which is 2015 model of Highlander. Why we get that vehicle is to improve their self-esteem. So that when we attend meetings of similar people across other universities, if you come with your little vehicle, they will come with their branded vehicle. But it was at no cost basis. We got the money from outside. So the issue is I wanted to look at democratic culture in line with the rule of law and how abuse of the rule of law have desecrated the altar of nationhood. The altar of nationhood in Nigeria can be mangled and distorted based on the fact that what you understand as democracy may be the different interpretation. But we have not gone to the point of doing what we call concept stretching without embarking on concept overstretching. Concept stretching is that democracy, as we are generally taught, has to do with government at the people, of the people, for the people, and by the people. And immediately we are taught that you were satisfied. And I wasn't. Because the missing link is failure to appreciate what they meant by people. And there's no way you can tell yourself that you belong to a group when you don't belong there. You don't force yourself into what you must not. So I looked at democracy and I saw demokratos deriving from the Greek and Athenian society. And what they meant there was government by the citizens. And who were the citizens? The citizens were a group of men that had private property. And part of private property was issue of wife, laborers. You know, if you have wife, laborers, and you have resources in their categorization, they say you were a citizen. So there was never a time broadly it was defined as government by everybody. It was government by their citizens, because what the citizens we are discussing was referred to as public affairs, people's affairs, which means what those citizens we are discussing were what must apply to everybody. But it was discussed only by selected few property owners. That was democracy. So if you understand it that way, They said that a slave will be made virtuous if he will continue to serve as a slave. But in serving as a slave, he will be eavesdropping from time to time when two or more citizens will be discussing in the master's house. He will be eavesdropping, but not to the same. So that he will be benefiting from the virtue of the discussion of the citizens. Which means, the point I have tried to bring up is that you should not just jump to that thing we call democracy and say it is government for all of us. We are not democratic. It is for the people that are the people. Then who are the people? In every society, we have objects and subjects. So democracy should be defined as government for the subjects, for governing the objects. How do you want to measure whether you are a subject or object? Immediately you finish, you call the president or NTA, and you threaten that as far as you are concerned, maybe tonight will never be a reality. What are you going to find out if you are an object? It will never be published because it will not make headline news. Because of the person, that is the messenger. But if by accident it got published, you know what will happen to you? You'll be begging to their life. Even people around you will be saying, why did you get to this point now? You shouldn't have said it. The thing brings us historically back to the man. Who brings this issue of democracy? Man. So, ideas of man. So, if somebody like, let's say, a very prominent person, respected person in the United States, now said, as far as we are concerned, they're going to see the stuff we are made of on May 29th. And every newspaper will be rushing to interview the person. That man is a subject. So democracy, historically, even from the origin, has never given room for everybody to say it is your government. It is government of the people. It is when you get home today, you reflect whether you are people or whether in the people the classification is object or a subject. Remember, they said the kind of society you try to have is dependent and predicated on the people that are there. The way you make your bed, they say, so shall you. That is a defeatist and status quo analysis. Don't accept it again. If you enter on a bed that was poorly made, what do you do? Come down and make it. They will push that idea to you to believe that, oh, this is what we have learned. It has been like that. Don't be a status quo mind. Be a change agent. And you can only be a change agent if you interrogate what you know. What you know may eventually turn out to be faulty, but always try to be right, even if it is for the wrong reasons. Remember issues of logic of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. That even what you think you know should be subjected to further interrogation at any given time. That is why knowledge becomes a state of mind at rest. Even when your mind is now at rest, it should be agitated again to question the existing order. That is the cycle of. And anytime you arrive at a conclusion, assuming if I finish what I'm foolishly stating now, and you just accept everything, it means that I didn't convey anything. I want you to disagree with me and feel strongly in your disagreement. It is when you disagree that there will be further interrogation. And the truth will come out. It is at the point of disagreement. I'm not among the lecturers. If you ask question in class, you'll be in trouble. It's not a lecturer, it's a missionary. Any lecturer that cannot take question and accept with humility, this one, can we take it up next lecture? Then never the person to go back and research. It is a missionary, not a lecturer. He took to teaching because there is no job. And it's a problem of God. So the critical point I wish to bring is that the nature, the pattern and character of what you call democracy in a given social terrain is dependent on the ideas and knowledge of the people that control the very purpose. It is not what we all want. Remember, the Constitution will say we, and you believe it. We, the people of Nigeria, you have not asked yourself, even if you are among the we, are you a Nigerian? So, but to cut this story short on the issue of democracy, it was in 1962 that they agreed, after looking at political organizations, he simply said, I need to project a new meaning of democracy. And he said, democracy refers to a system of governing mankind by deceiving them. People will be angry, he said it. It's a government. The instrumentality are used to deceive mankind. Reflect on your own society. And again, reflect on the recent environment you operate. Are you being deceived? What is your mindset? What is your psychological makeup? Are you a machinery teacher? Are you a machinery worker that will not speak out when you should speak out? And you come back and you complain. And you have high BP. And that brings me back to short-term goal and long-term growth. One of my great teachers told me that as a teacher, they have two options: to make short-term benefits and then lose friends, and the other one to make short-term sacrifices, gain friends, and gain tomorrow. Now, surprisingly, told me I have chosen the former, which was to make money. He chose money, not to make friends. But I have to tell you something. In life, where your fate will be decided, you will not be there. Where your fate will be decided, you will never be there. So long-term friends, they be inside where your fate will be decided. The people you scared away might be there when your fate will be decided. That is why we have to be very, very careful. And again, reflect. All these struggles, where does it end? 6 feet. Will people be jubilating today you go as a good riddance? Or will they be owning you forever? So in speaking out, in the short run, will be vilified, will be attacked. But what God says will never happen. Will never happen. So if you understand democracy as the people's will manifested in structures of governance, the critical point that is arising now is that what is the nature of democracy in Africa? In fact, after the last election, I was happy. I said this paper had written itself. I will that what we are talking about now will be these trials, tribulations, we call tribunal. You are going to a court, probably you know the outcome. Before the election, I called very good friends of mine. I said, we are going to have an aftermath of this election, a president that will be waiting, that will not be elected this time. Because a president coming will be selected and imposed on people. They say, no, you cannot, the masses. I say, that's the problem. Why do people were thinking that time, rushing with beavers, doing this, that they will announce the person? I told them, go and try. What we have done is to shake the devil. But the devil will not fall in this election. I told them. I spoke like a professor of political science. I said the devil will be shaking, but it will not fall. And that was why you saw people shouting, go to court, go to court. They have gone to court. They are worried that they have gone to court. Let us see. That election, my projection will not be decided on the election. It will be decided on technicalities. This is a tribunal. They will go on technicalities. It is not easy to remove the existing structure. It takes mass revolution that we saw in voting. Except that they were smarter than all of us. Because they made us to believe that givers have solutions to everything. And we went to rest. All of us were there shouting, this one. But they were laughing. They were laughing. So the critical point is that the subjects are under threat in Nigeria. And I remember, it's over 10 years ago that I went to the University of Port Harcourt. And I told them that the basic problem we are suffering is not corruption. That corruption is a main manifestation of the main, is a symptom of the main problem. I told them they couldn't understand. And I told them, look into a Nigerian problem from the angle of court rule. Nigeria is under the stranglehold of court group. And it will not be easy to dislodge them unless if we do the needful, which I will not say here. It may not be ballot laws as to the but to go and read history of other societies, how they were able to cleanse their society. Because who appoints all those electoral officers? The same court group. And this time was the worst in the history because they appointed card-carrying members as reps. And the object didn't say anything. And you expect a card-carrying member to go and commit class suicide to help the masses that are the objects when the subjects are directed. So we were not worried when a rep, against all known regulations established, went and announced results over and above the returning officer. He thought the person was just acting alone. Somebody had already called the person and said, go and announce what will happen. And all of you are waiting for what will happen to the man. I know you are waiting. At a point, he was not arrested. When somebody that was being sought after was already issuing statements from the hiding place, and he was not hiding anywhere. If he was hiding, he probably was hiding in one of the court members' apps, and they knew. It was when they prepared their cases and prepared themselves, they say, you can now go and hand over yourself. Then they go to court. I'm not giving you a message of helplessness or hopelessness or helplessness. I'm giving you a reflective lecture for you to begin to re-strategize in taking action. Stop mob action. Mob action will not help. It is brain that you sit down. Use it to dislodge them. One major thing will have is that they don't have the brain, but they hire the people that have brain to tinker with them on the way forward. So, democracy, when it gives room, demos, kratos, when it gives room for everybody to participate, you know what it will lead to? Mob rule, mobocracy. There is never anywhere where you have 100% egalitarianism. And I keep on telling us, most of the time, we keep on praying and compounding the problem of the country. And what has been the object of your prayer? God, let there be peace. For the history of all societies indicated that transformations and transmogrifications came with interplay of contradiction with contradiction that gives room to contradistinction. So instead of praying and not disturbing, the same God with one ear will be hearing this one, and the other spirits will be saying, yeah, and this, hear this one. Which kind thing? Do you know the best prayer you can give to God? God Almighty, thank you that our life today, let thy will be. I know I'm on the right path. And again, you have the two conflicts. You start praying to God, I don't want this crisis. It's a crisis, it's a conflict. Historically, the first disagreement, which is conflict, started in heaven. Lucifer. Which means if it could be there in a perfect place, what about this Civita Terrena? Civita Terrena, characterized by crisis. contestations every day in your life. We didn't publish considerators. How can you publish considerators? Here is the electricity. What do you have in the lab? What do you have? Books. What are the conducive environment for scholarship? Have you provided them? So, we must be human. We must not be spiritual, living in the Civita terrena. It is when you get to Civita Day, you talk about the perfection. Because we are living in this perfect world, please let us first understand the world first. Because democracy is a direct linkage to culture. They say culture is the way of life for the people. Now, you are seeing culture from the traditional setting only, from the university community. The attitude, their predisposition, their propensity, and their motivations are directly the relatives of the people that are living there. If you recruit mainly conservative people, they will keep on complaining without achieving results. When I was fortunate enough to be as chairman, what did I see? You see a group of people that are complaining. You channel their complaint at the appropriate place. You come back, you don't see anybody following you again. Immediately you finish a meeting of somebody that claimed to be an academic, the next thing you see will be bootlicking. That is why in virtually many universities in Nigeria today, only the people that are bootlicking, lackeys and proxies, are the people that will get to the level of professor before the serious-minded people in those universities. That's what happens. Because you promote them based on the fact that they come to give you wrong information. But any head that is answering EC that is thriving on wrong information without verification is not worthy at all to be a family man. That is managing a family, not to talk of managing an institution. Because you needed to tell the person, sit down, let me, you don't even need to just invite the person, or repeat what you told me. That's all. And the person will run. That's why if you enter my university in institute, immediately you came there, you enter the office, I said, I don't have time for discussion. This is office. 1 minute. What do you want? I want to put it in writing. Let me attend to what you're doing. I want to put it in writing. Before I knew it, my principal would testify that I only stay now more principal officers than people that are coming to destroy the characters of others. If you don't do that, they will not allow you to function. I don't think in the whole Southeast there is any vice chancellor that has been so reported to authority than I. You report me, and they will ask you, what did you do? So he said there should be regularization. They will ask you, what is wrong with regularization? He wants to sack us. Why will you be the person who will sack? Then subject yourself to regularization. Some of the things we are changing. I'm not changing it to remain in institute. I'm changing it to leave a model that other universities here will copy. We must copy it. Because we are there for service. So the critical point is that anytime you are appointed into office, write your resignation letter so that they will know that you are prepared at any moment, shortest notice, to quit the job. So they will allow you to work. But I have to inform us that in the whole Southeast, the Vice Chancellor of institute and my principal will testify has virtually 100% autonomy to operate. 100% autonomy. The government is not interfering because we discussed it. We are working, and I've proudly said I'm even enjoying autonomy more than some vice chancellors at the federal level because we discussed it. We want to fix this place. Say, I want us to change the face of this. It will not be easy, but we must do something. I was discussing with my friend. I said, next week we now be enjoying a broadband, with a 10-kilometer fiber that will be laid in the whole of patients, so that we are going to have dedicated masts. So that no scholar will be telling me I don't have network. No scholar will say that. all this is about consultations and movements. But again, another danger. In the 80s, the contention was, do you need a benevolent dictator or you need an autocratic democrat? Another thing. There's no way you can change the system without being seen sometimes to be dictatorial. But is it benevolent dictator or the benevolent dictator or you prefer an autocratic democrat? But I will disappoint you again. There is no society in the world that has developed and will develop without having somebody that has dictatorial tendencies. If you like, you want to do what I'm saying, reflect your mind when we had the vice chancellor here that was seen as a warlord. Now we now have democratic vice chancellors. The university, which one gained? Which one gained? So why we are saying it is that the problem we are discussing as a point of a center of discussion is not really the democracy. It's the content and substance of what we make meaning out of democracy. Why do we teach our children 1 + 1 is 2? Who told you they will understand mathematics that way? In the past, we were teaching them with sticks. Counting. Why do we have fruits in abundance? Can't you use oranges and say these are 5? We put them in basket and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they'll see it's orange and they'll never forget it's orange. Why are you teaching what they will never understand? Because the Western civilization came here to embed serious contradistinction in our development process that will make sure that we shall have certificates without having knowledge. And we chose to have certificates without knowledge. And you cannot come back again and say, no, why don't we go back to the rubrics? Start counting. Start teaching us mathematics by counting. Let us see what we are saying. Not when I say, like Professor Chibu will just say X squared, this, and they'll be writing it on the board. What does X mean? Give meaning to X. Does X mean Sorabese times 2? If you teach that way, people will not forget it. But in any case, going back again, some of us normally teach with the intention of making sure you don't understand. He has this own immediate game to make sure they decide what they teach. In any case, let me quickly take 5 minutes and round up. Nation, cultural affinity, principles of primordiality, principle of block ties, cultural affiliation. We talk about states. We talk about political unity and agglomeration of various nations. We talk about nation states. We talk about state nation. All these are just concepts designed to distort our knowledge. The nation is clear when people have shared values, shared norms, shared ideas that they belong to a particular socio-cultural unit. You have a nation. Now, if you understand it that way, do we have such values, such normative practices, such primordiality, united in achievement orientation? We have it. So why do you say that? It means that we are ignorantly projecting ignorance. There is no point of saying you have a nation where you don't have egalitarianism, where you don't have rule of law, where you don't have equal participation, where you don't have equalization of opportunities, where you are sure that even when you grow to be the biggest professor in the world, you will never have opportunity of aspiring to where you should be. That is Nigeria for you. So nation is about people collective, agreeing to project shared views and ideas, arising of some agreed concepts that are derived from distinct and disparate and splashing cultures, which means we talk about the nation, we talk about intensified process of cultural secularization. So, cultural secularization will now enable us to begin to see ourselves not as peoples, Yorubas, Hausas, but as one nation. But I really thank God. God has a way of paying back. Igbo people say they want to be what? Senate president. Igbo people say they want to be what? Speaker. Igbo people say they want to be that. Igbo people say Igbos are not yet right to be president. But Igbos are right to be Senate president. Igbos are right to be speaker. God has brought that that has come to judgment. Igbos are not qualified for Senate president. We are not qualified for deputy. We are not qualified for speaker. We are not qualified for deputy. I think that is justice. That is justice. If you accept half bread, you will think you are satisfied. It is better to think, oh, it will now show how nationhood is progressing in Nigeria. Even people that used to be in terms of the three major ethnic nationalities, Igbo is now the minority. Who made Igbo like a minority? Igbo people. Igbo people. Go and turn around the whole of let's use higher institutions. Turn around all higher institutions in Nigeria. After touring, go and turn around in southwest and turn around north. Check the quality of tech fund projects and come back to your university and ask questions. The amount they gave me this year is the amount they gave to other universities. I say other universities. There is no university in Nigeria today that received allocation of less than 900 million from tech fund. And we have sat down to decide what we are going to use our own the infrastructure component. We say we are going to use robust 1,000 capacity ICT center with the exam, with records, all of them there. So that's 500 million. Now, if you move to the University of Illinois, you see long stretch of structures. You go to BUK, you go to everywhere. The same amount is the amount they give. What is the difference? You can have special intervention. That one is based on legwork. If you do appropriate legwork, this issue is not all about traveling. It's about quality traveling. When somebody returns, ask him how much did you spend on this trip? What did you bring back? You must ask the question. If you travel, will bring something more than 100 times. So it's not all about haven't you entered the hotel before? So you just enter to go and eat and come back and say that I'm just coming from Jericho. So the major issue is why is it that the contractors that build structures in the north, in the southwest, perform better than structures that build in most of the universities in the southeast? I had opportunity of going to the ES of Bedford, and I asked him, I'm just a new VCO. I want to know why they laugh and say, I'm happy you are asking this question. I'm ashamed that if you enter most universities here, you'll be looking for the projects. I said, use this suit as point of contact. At the point, I challenged them. I said, even if you can award the contract yourself, manage it. That money is not the money we are targeting to the men. We were already men before we became vice admirals. So, but who caused it? Us, Igbos. So we must reflect on our own. Even at the community of Southeast Vice Chancellors, we must begin to talk to ourselves. If we cannot please ourselves, we cannot please the society we are working. We cannot do it. We are begging the youth, for example, comparative people to come and access money and go for international conferences. We are advertising, register is here. We will keep on begging people, come and travel. Come and go for ICT training. Come and go for gifts. I now remember when I'm forcing them that I have never benefited from that fund. From 2009, I became professor. From the time I entered the university myself, I never benefited from any sponsorship of that. So where is the money going? Is it the Yoruba people that are taking it? Is it the Hausa people that are taking it? So your own democratic culture starts from you. Their own acceptance starts from you. Have you seen why I've been looking to come and present paper in your school? I've been invited separately, but there's no way I can say no to conservative. I'm an endangered species already, and I'm aware I'm an endangered species, but I will not change. I will only change when I can't speak again. I'm already down, but I must be crying for justice, crying for fairness. So, as I'm wrapping up now, the nationhood we are talking about, we start from real nationhood. The real nationhood is that a group of people that have shared feeling that they are being alienated should not be crying that they are being alienated. What are you going to do? Let's come back and show Igbo land to be a masterpiece that the whole country will emulate. And they will be begging you, give us somebody to rule us so that our place will be like Igbo land. So let's come back and build strong nationhood. Strong nationhood that will endure it. Why are we wasting away in Lagos? Wasting away in many parts of Igbo land? It is because the governance structure in Igbo land is not helping people to invest in Igbo land. So the crisis is about us, discovering us, not them. I don't have any problem with Yoruba, Hausa, anything. In fact, I'm working like a brother to ES Tech Fund Director. ES, because he saw genuineness. If you show them that you want to work and they give you 1 naira, let them see that you invested 1 naira, 20 bucks, and they will give you more. That was why that convocation, I brought the ES to be the convocation lecturer. I wasn't looking for politicians. I was looking for people that will add value to the university. Because in coming to do that, I've inducted you as friend of the suit. And something good will keep on happening. So I thank you very much for listening. And I must commend Professor Labezi for putting together this. I thank the Vice Chancellor, my good friend, Professor Makoki. I hope that maybe next year condition will be favorable for us to do it in a proper place where you are not going to be sent on exile, or by the grace of God we shall be alive. Since you have started collaboration with various universities, I will take permission from my principal officers. We shall be glad to collaborate with you. My last message: work together, build together, project for tomorrow. Think less about today. Think more about tomorrow. Any environment you are, create an effect. Don't mind whether it is negative or positive. History will forgive you for taking wrong decision. But history will never forgive you for not taking any decision at all. Thank you so much. Can you please stand up for me, please? Oh, yes. That was very electrifying, if you ask me. Very captivating. Emotion evoking. Thank you so much, Prof. Appreciate you. That was, if I can see it, please. You cannot see it. Thank you. That was the Vice Chancellor of Enugu State University of Science and Technology, ESUT, Professor Michael Aloysius Okolie. Thank you very much, Prof. You did justice to this lecture, and I'm sure we are all going home with something profound. Ladies and gentlemen, before I call on the microphone for the next lead paper presenter, let me make some recognitions. While Professor Okolie was delivering his lecture, a former director of the Center for Igbo Studies, University of Nigeria, Nsukka walked in. I'm talking about a professor of linguistics from the University of Nigeria, Professor Ijoma Okochi. Thank you, Prof. I can see that your constituency members, they are greeting you in a special way. Thank you. On that note, let me to the Department of Linguistics to make welcome Dr. Mrs. Cordele Onyegere. Dr. Mrs. Chip Onyegere, thank you very much for coming. Thank you. We appreciate you. Here from the Department of Linguistics, UNN, let me also welcome from Linguistics Department, Dr. Juliet Sinachi. Let's welcome her, please. Yes, the VC is leading. The ceremony continues, please. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also inform you that the husband of the is also here, Chief Sir Alexander Orabweze, but is represented by his beloved daughter, who is entirely a lecturer from the Department of Commercial and Corporate Law from the Faculty of Law, University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. I'm talking about no other person than Barrister Chiamaka Orabweze. Hallelujah, please. Thank you. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Executive Director in charge of administration and training from the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, or the headquarters in Abuja, is here, and he is a lead paper presenter for today's event. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Professor Steve Ego. Thank you, Prof. We appreciate you. We appreciate you to the high table, please. Thank you so much. And of course, let me also inform you that from the Chukwuemeka Ojukwu University, Iwarion campus, Anambra State, Nigeria, Dr. Mrs. Ezugo is here. Dr. Mrs. Ezugo, please, wherever you are, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And of course, from the Faculty of Education, University of Nigeria, let's welcome Dr. Mrs. Mwokenna. Dr. Mrs. Mwokenna, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay. Now, the wife of the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Professor Bato Okolo, is a lead paper presenter in this conference, but she is represented by Chizoba Orano. Chizoba Orano, please, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Where's my DJ? Has he traveled? Okay, so we'll be coming on the next. All right, with the permission of this occasion, I've been asked to call on the next lead paper presenter. But please, we will try as much as possible to manage time effectively. By implication, we'll be allocating 15 minutes to each lead paper presenter. And of course, the next lead paper presenter we'll be having right about now is Professor Gaji Fatima Dantata. The Professor Dantata is represented by Dr. Sanusi Kani. Please, let's appreciate him.
Thank you. Let me stand on the existing protocols. As it was mentioned by the MC, this paper is supposed to be presented by Her Excellency, Professor Benji Fatima Eltaka, who happens to be one of the wives of the former governor of Kano State. That's why we always attach the name of Her Excellency to her name, besides being from the Professor of Special Education. Now you can see the title of the paper, Inclusion of Special Needs Populace, the penalty for good democratic governance in the African continent. What Her Excellency did is that she divided the paper into 5 sections, which I will try as much as possible to summarize what Her Excellency has done in her paper. In the introduction, she was able to inform us that this paper is divided into 5 sections. Section 1, the introduction. Section 2, concept of democracy. Section 3, concept of conclusion. Section 4, conclusion. And section 5, recommendations given by Her Excellency. Under democracy, Her Excellency is of the view that democracy can simply be defined as power of the people and a way of governing which depends on the will of the majority of people of the given nation. Besides this, Her Excellency gives us certain features of good democratic governance. Maybe Her Excellency want us to consider the situation of our country, Nigeria. The first feature given by Her Excellency is that in the good democratic governance, there must be an existence of a written constitution. Professors of political science are going to inform us that there are 2 types of constitution, written and unwritten one. The unwritten constitution belongs to the traditional societies we have in the older days, while the written constitution is what we have in a typical Nigerian situation. Feature number 2, there must be popular participation of citizens of the given nation. The nation wants us to reflect and see in a Nigerian country where we have over 200 million people, but only 93.5 people have registered for voting, and only 26% of voters were able to come out in our individual election. In other words, only 25 million people came out and voted in the presidential election of our country. So now it's up to us to decide whether there is popular participation in the voting system of our elections as far as Nigeria is concerned. The third aspect given by Her Excellency is which means the finishing of the majority of people of the government states of the right of the people, I mean of the right of the states to govern them. This means that she wants us to reflect and see whether majority of Nigerians have given mandates to the leaders that are governing us. If yes, we are in a better position to say yes. If no, we are in a better position to say no. Number 4, there must be the election and democratic voting system in any good governance, in any democratic good governance. We thank God election is being taking place after 4 years, but the question is whether in Nigeria what is known as democratic voting, where one vote, one person. So this is another direction for us to see whether our democracy is a good one or a bad one. Number 5, she says in any good governance, in any democratic good governance, there must be a multi-party system. Thanks God. In our recent election, 18 parties have participated against 91 parties in 2019 election. So it's up to us here to reflect and decide whether these 2 parties are enough for us or we need more additional parties. The next feature is respect for the rule of law and equality of individuals within the law. We are all aware in any democratic dispensation, there must be 3 arms of government: legislature, the executives, and the judiciary. Now the question here is, are we respecting the rule of law? Are we respecting what it's? It is now up to us to decide. Number 7, respect for fundamental human rights. Secondly, our Constitution has mentioned 10 fundamental human rights, which include right to life, right to dignity of human persons, right to personal liberty, right to fair hearing, and others, which we can refer our constitutions and define the remaining fundamental human rights. The question is, are we defending those fundamentals, those 10 fundamentals human rights in our democratic dispensation? It's another question that Her Excellency wants us to reflect. Finally, under the features of good governance, under democratic dispensation, she says there must be a rule by majority of citizens of the human nation. In other words, positions taken must be in favor of the majority of citizens of the human nation. Here, it is also up to us to decide whether this is taken by our leaders is in our favor or in the favor of others. After discussing the concept of democracy, Her Excellency went to the 3rd section of our paper, where she discussed the concept of inclusion. Under that, she discussed the concept under 2 perspectives. I believe as a professor of social education, she has to look at inclusion from the educational perspective. And secondly, she looked at inclusion from general perspective, which I believe inclusion from general perspective is what is the concern of this conference. In her paper, she opines that inclusion from general perspective is effective for policy of providing equally access to opportunities and resources to people who might otherwise be excluded or marginalized, such as those who have physical or intellectual disabilities and members of other minority groups. But she finally said, inclusion simply means the process that helps to overcome challenges, limiting the person's participation and achievement of individuals in human endeavors. In this purpose, in political dispensation of our country. In her conclusion, which is the fourth aspect of our paper, she concluded that inclusion of special needs persons is a pillar upon which African democracy is to be built upon. In other words, she is emphasizing that there is need for democracy in Africa to ensure that special needs persons are included. Maybe she has not talked of the other aspects where the marginalized of the country are also supposed to be allowed to participate because the paper is more or less concerned with special needs persons. That's why she has limited emphasis on special needs persons. Under her recommendations, she recommends that to achieve inclusiveness of special needs persons in our democratic dispositions, there is need to, one, closely be consulted and actively involving special needs persons in our democratic affairs. Number two, she said that there is need to ensure that equal opportunities is also given to special needs persons in all the political positions and elected positions in our democratic dispensation. Sadly, which is the final recommendation from by Excellency, that we need to ensure full accessibility for all, especially the special needs persons, with respect to our buildings, facilities, work spaces, information and communications, conferences, and others. Because she believes this is the only way that special needs persons can be allowed to participate actively in our democratic dispensation. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we will allow them to present. Just leave for us to ask questions. Maybe at the end of the presenters. So if there is anything that is on your mind, what it down. If you 5 to 10 minutes to ask questions or to point out after there was a presenter. So we are all speakers to go.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. With your permission, I will call on the microphone to do justice to this lead paper presentation. I'm talking about the Professor Steve Abel. Professor Steve Abel will deliver his lead paper right now. Let me inform you, he is the Executive Director, Administration and Training from Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Abuja. Professor Abel, please. Let's appreciate him.
Thank you. Distinguished chairman of this occasion, other eminent speakers who have spoken before me, and those who will speak after me. Members of the House Table, faculty, our dear students, ladies and gentlemen, I wish Mrs. Ora will settle down so that we can move ahead. I specifically said that because she practically compelled me to be here today with so much phone calls and messages. I have to reschedule a very important engagement outside the country just to be here. Because to be a personal friend, I have deep-seated respect for her and for the academy people that both represent. And not only that, at about 4 p.m. yesterday, I got a text message from my driver. I'll read out what he said. Good evening. Please, I'm not fine. I can't travel. This was an arrangement I made in the morning. Got this message 4 p.m. yesterday. And then on account of this, I will definitely be here. And I was here this morning to talk to the class. And I broke my phone from my book. Thank you very much. My topic says impunity as an citation to the effective operation of the rule of law. Impunity as an citation to the effective operation of the rule of law. Not going to be a very lengthy lecture because I don't subscribe to the idea of talking and talking and talking. We have talked enough to make Nigeria work. There is nothing we are going to say here today, tomorrow, that has not been said. We said it all. It remains to put those ideas into action. And Nigeria will work for all of us. I divided into 5 sections. The first section is the introduction and the general overview. Once again, I want to thank you for inviting me to speak in the midst of these very dedicated and esteemed scholars. Speakers. I consider it personal honor. I also congratulate Mr. Rabweze and our team for the effort they have put in making this occasion to come to pass. It is part of their contribution in making Nigeria what it should be, and in making Africa what we expect it to be. The theme of this conference couldn't have come at a better time. The first speaker spoke a lot about the way we are and the way we ought to be. I hope we'll have some takeaways from that. I happen to be one of those who have always preached, have always believed that we need to have what we call an equal meeting. We need to sit down, select people from various walks of life, academics, traders, politicians, diaspora, thieves, and pickpockets. We need to gather our ideas and see how we can make public useful out of that abundance that God gave us. And until we do that, yes, democracy has worked so effectively. Not perfect, but reasonably well for many countries of the world. In America, in India, Europe, democracy has worked reasonably well. Unfortunately, here in Africa, we are still learning to crawl, even at a very old age. The period 1955 to 1965, the 10-year period, was regarded globally as African Renaissance, was regarded as the decade of Africa, or the African decade, if you like. This was the period when most countries of the continent emerged from the shackles of colonial to become independent, of which Nigeria was one. There was remote hope. There was a longing that Africa had come of age. And Africa is going to take care of its children. 60 years down the line, the cradle of civilization, which Africa is, which Africa was, has become the graveyard of mankind. It is a terrible irony that Africa, which has seen the birth of civilization, has also produced the worst of barbarians. Earlier, I spoke about 1955, 1965. In 1960, when Nigeria independent, there was a long queue all over the world. Many countries wanted to be friends with Nigeria, because Nigeria houses a quarter of the black race. So Nigeria was seen as a powerhouse, a leader of not just the continent, but the leader of the black race. And like I said, there was a long queue, people who wanted to be friends of Nigeria. I remember that the State Department in the US issued an advice to American corporations. It says, quote, the business community should consider it more economically rewarding to invest in Nigeria than in Japan. That was in 1960. Today, 63 years down the road, we can see where Nigeria is and can see where Japan is. Section 2 talks about democracy and exclusion. We all know what democracy is. Anybody can find democracy. If there are 500 of us in this room today, we can give 500 different definitions of democracy. But then it boils down to one thing, which is the principle of common participation and the principle regulation. This has, of course, proved to be successful in fostering the ideals of institutional economic and political engineering to many countries. And one of the parameters upon which the founding fathers anchored their foundational prerequisite is the rule of law. Because the rule of law has to do with norms, mechanisms, processes, and practices that support and guide human interaction and the relationship. In other words, the rule of law simply says, this is how we will do, and it works. Classical scholars, Baron Montesquieu, Thomas Paine, David Dicey, and thousands before them and after them have written eloquently about the rule of law. Because the rule of law is the only panacea we have against the popular and the anarchic use of power. For the over 60 years of independence, we ask ourselves, how has Africa fared in managing its affairs, despite the democracy we preach? If you look at the list, it is astonishing. You see corruption, poverty, security, literacy, ignorance, lawlessness, ethnicity, nepotism, religious strife, bigotry, anger, frustration, hatred, hunger, unemployment, diseases, dilapidated infrastructure, decayed educational system. I mean, the list we can go on and on and on. For those of us who are 40 years and above, we can only look behind us because if the truth must be told, our yesterday was better than our today. So, you ask, why are we here? What has gone wrong? Why has the world left Africa behind? Why has Africa remained a country, even with gray hairs? We are here to talk about this. We will continue to talk about them as we have done in the past, whenever time permits. However, today I will pick one issue for a more elaborate explanation, and that element is one word: impunity. Impunity, which the English dictionary defines simply as exemption from punishment. Check your dictionary. Impunity simply means exemption from punishment. It may sound a bit vague, but it's not just, or even romantic, if you like. But it is an atomic bomb. It is a corrosive cancer. It has decimated kingdoms, brought down empires, ruined nations, and destroyed a huge number of people. Impunity is a sponge. Impunity thrives when the rule of law is weak, effective, ineffectual, inoperable, or simply non-existent. A weak law is a dead law, and it leaves countless carcasses and destroyed. Each time someone does something wrong and gets away with it, no matter how desperate, each time somebody does something wrong and gets away with it, impunity triumphs. Impunity triumphs, and the humanity enough that whether as a leader or follower or whatever level we find ourselves, we destroy our collectivity each time we engage in an act of impunity or condoning from somewhere else. For those of us who are Christians, we are very familiar with the word of God in Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11, which says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. It shows you how God will create feelings about impunity, about lawlessness, about the inability of the rule of law to operate. The impunity of our leaders, and also that of us the followers, is the reason our democracy has refused to provide the requisite dividends. The rule of law is dysfunctional, and we have found ourselves in a state of anomaly. Question 4. The question you always remember: where do we go from here? What do we do? How do we get out of the self-imposed law of rulers and operate the rule of law? For over 60 years, our best minds in and around the African continent have been proselytizing, analyzing, preaching, theorizing, and agreeing on what should and shouldn't be. These efforts have produced heaps of ideas, mountains of documents, roadmaps, plans of action, recommendations, and so on and so forth. Yet, nothing has changed. The more we dissipate priestly energy trying to change things, the more they remain the same. In his 1983 book, a book all of us are familiar with, Chinua Achebe stated emphatically that the problem with Nigeria is leadership. That book, written 40 years ago, was meant as a handbook to both the leaders and the left. It is very onerous task of nation building. 40 years later, that problem remains unsolved. And if you ask me how far we have gone, I will tell you that we are still getting ready to get ready. If anything, the problem of leadership has become cancerous and has made us fast. Our leaders blossom in impunity. From local government councillors to senators of the Federal Republic, from council chairmen to the president, impunity, recklessness, and systemic abuse reign supreme. Nigeria, state governors are team gods. They see themselves as little offsprings of Nebuchadnezzar and Pharaoh to join. Conclusion. But we must not give up. We will continue to preach, we will continue to talk, we will continue to dialogue. We will continue to lend our voices, no matter how slow, to the need to do better than we have done. We must understand that democracy is like a flower. Democracy is quick, delicate, it is prone to mortality, and it is desirous of constant attention and care. Democracy, like an endangered species, must be gathered and watched and taken. And when we say this, we say it with all amount of seriousness. Because when we see what is happening in those places we look up, places like the United States, what we saw under Donald Trump, Britain having 3 prime ministers in the space of 1 month, we know that democracy is on track all over the world. However, we need democracy. In the words of Winston Churchill, democracy may not be the best form of government, but not mistake. The world has moved from one system to the other until it arrived at democracy. And Churchill is the man we know should know what is coming. Say that no, exactly. And constitutionalism is the strongest and most effective weapon needed to fight impunity. The law must be strengthened as a weapon of choice against abuses and other acts of impunity that disintegrate the rule of law while promoting impunity and lawlessness. Finally, let me emphasize Africa needs leadership. Nigeria needs leadership. We need leaders who are genuine, who are committed to fight, to confront the challenge facing the country. Not pretenders, not stomach or democracy activists, not hands and quacks, who are ready to sell us off for a steaming pot of porridge. And make no mistake, these pretenders are everywhere. So we must begin to find the courage needed to hold our leaders accountable for the action. Similarly, we must begin to show genuine disgust in the so many acts of impunity we all commit in whatever little space we find ourselves. Impunity is not just a crime from our leaders. It's all of us are involved in one form or another. It is a struggle we all must commit ourselves if we must genuinely cleanse the other struggle. Until we are able to say no more crime of thoughts, until we are able to replace the law of the rulers with the rule of law, we may yet continue on this futile exercise of grand deception at both national and continental levels. And we will continue to relapse into the Bobbesian state of nature, which from our thoughts it cried because it was solitary, poor, nasty, brutal, and short. May Africa rise. Thank you, and God bless you.
I think we can do better with that round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. A super journalist. Oh yes. When a media professional is talking, you'll be sure you'll be swept off your feet. Thank you very much, Prof. That was Professor Steve Ebo, the Executive Director, Administration and Training from the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Abuja. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Now we're going to go straight to the last but not the least lead paper presenter this afternoon. And I'm talking about no other person than Barrister Nwaneka Cecilia Okolo, who is a lawyer cum banker with education, skills, and experience in law, business, finance, and human resource management. She is here represented by Mrs. Orano, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Standing on existing protocol, I am here to present in favor of Barrister Mrs. Nwaneka Okolo, who is unavoidably absent. The title of the paper is The Unmined Resource in Emerging Democracy in Africa, with emphasis on Nigerian protocol. So who are these unmined resource? You know, globally, we are talking about inclusion. And if you look at the world population, women represent about 50%. So one would expect that when it comes to democracy, when it comes to decision making, that women will be represented at least 50%. But that is far from reality. In most cases, women are the fringe of affairs when it comes to like economy, education, governance, and politics, compared to their male counterparts. So it is argued that because of the multiple roles these women play at home, they cannot put productive time when at the places of work. The voices, the perspective or contribution of women are being subdued by cultural and social bias. While the concept of marginalization may vary across society, the impact is the same across the world. And in Africa, there is need to integrate women in politics and decision making, specifically focusing in Nigeria, a country where we have generous population, a significant role in African politics. The integration of women in politics becomes very, very vital. But however, women are being underrepresented in the democracy of Africa today. Women are being greatly undermined. And to address this inequality and marginalization, in the developing declaration and platform to action and held an international targets of balanced political participation, power sharing between women and men in decision making. The United Women maintain that women equal participation and leadership in politics and public life are crucial in achieving the SDG goals. The United Nations statistics show that women are really underrepresented. Can you move to the other slide? We can see the slide. So when we look at the statistics, looking at globally now, women in executive position, we find that we just have 32 women serving as head of states and as government in 31 countries. Now in 17 countries, we have women head of state, and 19 countries, we have women head of government. 22.8% of the cabinet members held ministry, leading in policy area, and only 13 countries have approximately 50% of women. The most common portfolio held by these women generally globally is cabinet women and gender equality, family and children affairs, social inclusion and development, social protection and social security. If you look at the next slide, when it's talking about women in national parliament globally, only 26.5% of parliament in single and lower houses are women, up from 11% in 1995. And it's that only 6 countries have 50% of women being represented in their parliaments. Then when we look at women in local governments, data from 136 countries shows that women constitute nearly 3 million, which is about 34% of elected members in deliberative bodies. In Central and Southern Asia, 41%, only women represent only about 41%. In Europe and Latin America, just 36%. While in Sub-Saharan Africa, we have just 25%. If you look at the Inter-Parliamentary Union, that data from 47 countries was held, election in 2020 showed that women represent an average of 25.8% of the seats available, representing about 2.3% increase from the last election. Now, reports further acknowledge an increasing trend of sexism, harassment, and violence against women as one of the biggest obstacles to women's participation in political life. The seats held by women in national parliaments, if you look at the graph, you see Nigeria have about, the figure is not there, was about 3.6%, which is the lowest there, and Rwanda has the highest. In Africa, it's Rwanda that has the highest representation of women in Africa, where they have about 61.5% of women being represented in their national parliament. Some East African countries have about 25 to 33% gender participation at the national and sub-national level. So we come down to Nigeria. According to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics report, women account for just 49.4% of the Nigerian population generally. But in spite of all this, if you look at the previous graph, like women just represent about 3.6% of the population in the national parliament, in spite of their number. So this has been on right starting from the pre-colonial period, where women played active role in politics, like the likes of Queen Amina of Zaria, Meromi Ife, Emeta Nobini, and Osimari. The women wing of political party involvement in country you are in Nigeria, you agree with me, is greatly underrepresented. After Nigeria independence, women began to get involved in active politics. However, this incident to military incursion, second and third republic to date, the number of women in politics and indeed other decision-making positions are at all levels of government and in the society remain very, very insignificant. And we have different bodies in Nigeria trying to actualize the thing of having a ratio of 50-50 to rate of men to women in the parliament. We have the Child Rights Act, Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, quite a lot of them there, you can see the slides. So, and how this, basically how they operate, they have key principles, and these key principles are non-discrimination to women, equality of rights, participation, individual autonomy, non-violence, equal rights and freedom, just as their main counterparts. But however, this progress has been achieved in Nigeria. The National Bureau of Statistics showed that women represent only 2.7% of the Senate and 3.3% of the House of Assembly. That was in 1999. But in the recent concluded election, Canada, just prior to the election of 2023, a bill setting an additional 111 special seats for women in the National Assembly did not see the light of day. With the signing of the 2022 Electoral Act into law by the President, despite the representation and protests by women group in Abuja, where they were protesting for at least 30% of women in the National Assembly. But yet, it needs to not have been from after the conclusion of this election. You see that Nigerian women seeking to contest election in the 2023 general election gathered at the Women Aspirants Summit in Abuja for a discourse, many sensitized women to come out and vote and support their own. But at the end of the election, we find that that 406 persons contesting across 28 states, only 24 of them, which account for 6%, were female, and none of them were successful. Now, 378 ran for Senate and House of Assembly seats, but only 17 was successful. While all the current senators who went back for re-election all lost their seats. Now, if you look at the graph there, that's to show you what the National Assembly will look like. The 10th National Assembly, you can see that women is just 5%, while women are 95%. So now, why are we talking about women being undermined resource in African democracy? We find out that investing in women leads to economic empowerment. Like the past former Secretary General, Kofi Annan, studies have taught us that there is no tool for development more than effectiveness than empowerment of women in our society. So no other policy is likely to raise economic productivity or to reduce child mortality. No other policy is sure to improve nutrition and promote health, including prevention of HIV. No other policy is as powerful in increasing the chances of education for the next generation. Evidence has also shown that leadership is a political decision-making process that improves the lives of women and the general economy as a whole. Now, the reality is we need more women in leadership positions. Diversity of gender in the workforce is an innovative workforce. Diversity in all forms, from gender to culture to age and range, inspire new ideas and foster innovation. Where women are appointed to a leadership position, they generally excel, so the system is wired to work against them. If you look at the likes of Dora Kumili, of blessed memory, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, obviously person, to mention but a few, these people have themselves done exceedingly well in their elected position. Now, the way forward, statistics have shown Nigeria at the bottom of the ladder of women participation in politics in Africa. Nigeria needs to borrow a lead from Senegalese counterparts, where the women came together and formed an alliance and protest against their being marginalized. And they were fortunate to have two successful, empathic, and gender-sensitive presidents, and they were able to get an affirmation of 30% in the parliament. Women must wake up and form strong alliance across party lines and demand inclusion and equitable participation in all aspects of national life. Women must therefore rise from tribal, ethnic, religious politics and work as one with the aim of righting the wrong and putting back the country where it's rightly supposed to be. Closing thoughts. So far, the outcome of Nigerian election tells us that Nigeria are not fit to stand tall and walk side by side with men, the women in Nigeria. Neither are they good enough to be voted for. In fact, the acts and body language of most Nigerian men in the corridor of power will suggest that a woman becoming a president or vice president or governor is not feasible in the nearest future. A population of about 100 million out of 211 million, almost people ignored. Beyond this, Nigeria must tackle the institutional, cultural, and political barrier and inordinate preference for men candidates. The National Human Rights Commission reminds women that the realization of women's rights in a global struggle based on universal human rights and rule of law calls on all of us to unite in solidarity to end tradition, practice, and law that harm women. It is a call for freedom to be fully and completely human and equal without apology or permission. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's appreciate her more, please. Thank you. I was the representative of Barrister Nwaneka Okolo, the wife of the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Professor Pato Okolo. Let's appreciate her once more. Mrs. Orano, please. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, now this is the time for, we're trying to manage time effectively. This is the time for presentations of Pillar of Peace Awards to the recipients. At this juncture, the chairman of this occasion, Professor Ifeanyi Chukwu Abada, will take over from me. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Thank you. I listen to the past presenter, and my question is, where will this augmentation stop? By women. Well, every time women pay materialize, who my jealousy do? So that has been my question, and it needs to be answered. So we have had, I will continue to hear, then we believe that women should wake up. I do believe it. On that note, because we are making that crime,
I came back once again. I had the last presenter say, women should talk about and what they want. Democracy, the extension of voting my own. Voting my own. Because the moment you say you're voting for your own, you must be careful. If the others are more in numbers than you are, you vote your own, they vote their own. Who is going to be winning? So the extension I thought she would say, let's vote the best. Not to my own. The moment you start voting for your own, then maybe you are going along with gender, religious consciousness, tribalism, and others. So that, yeah, as far as democracy, who is the best? Who can serve our country in a better position? So I'm voting my own because it is from my own choice, voting because it is from my own. Yes, that's all.
There's no time for arguments. We have, for me, women is their problem. Women, that's for me. We're not talking about. But let us maybe during the panel session we discuss that. Yeah. Another conference. So we are entering to another stage. For one of time, we will go for the presentation of pillar of these awards to the recipients. And we have before me the award for the newspaper presenters. There are two of them for now. One, the first person is Professor Steve Ebo. The foundation, this is for foundation, has this was we have contribution, money, therefore the pillar of this award related to Professor Steve Ebo for his contributions to conflict resolution and the enforcement of peace investment. Is the 11th day of the the center foundation has decided based on the consultation to give her this award, which is called pillar of this award, then to her on the condition to public discussion and employment of this Nigeria, that is of the The next award will be given to Kosovi of Uka of LLC chairman for the foundation. Oh, the foundation has graciously said that I should hand over this award. This foundation and also recognition to the country's resolution and employment of peace in Nigeria. There is 11 day of the year 2024. I have my hand over this award. The next award is given to His Royal Highness Igwe LSM Eze, Igwe of Okupa.
They went to this
The foundation has decided to give an award to His Royal Highness Igwe LSM Eze for his contribution to country institution and employment of peace in Nigeria. This day, 11 years ago. I have a hand over the word.
The chairman has become a SPF, so we let him. On behalf of the Grace Uzoma Okobo Foundation, I have the honor and privilege to present this award, Pillar of Peace Award, to our dearly beloved Chief Neil Wood, in recognition of the contributions, conflict resolution, and the achievement of peace in Nigeria. This 11th day of May 2026. Congratulations. Chairman, sir, on behalf of the Grace Football Foundation, I have once again honor and privilege to present this pillar of this hour to Emeritus Professor, our teacher, Professor Emeritus L. Amasu, for his contributions to conflict resolution and enshrinement of peace. Dated this 11th day of May, the year 2023. Congratulations, sir. Hi. Foundation. This award to engineer in the meta for contributions and instrument fees in Nigeria. This award is dated this day, 11th May 2023. Congratulations. I, on behalf of the Grace Uzoma or Congo Foundation, hereby present the pillar of peace award to Mr. Chibozi for the contributions he gave to conflict resolutions and environment of peace in Nigeria. This award is dated today, 11th day of May 2023. I will present this award to on his behalf.
We don't know just where.
Okay. We want to call on Professor Ijoba Okoji to do justice to the next play awards, please.
Right. The great Foundation presents the award Pillar of Peace to Barrister Mrs. Waneka Okolo for their contributions to conflict resolution and on the date 11th of May 2023. Congratulations. On behalf of the Great Government of Congo Foundation, what is the question of COVID? On behalf of the Great Government of Congo Foundation, this award of Pillar of Peace is presented to Ambassador David Gabriel and Evelyn for contribution to humanity, conflict resolution, and peace in Nigeria. Today, 11th of May, 2023. Congratulations.
Thank you. Let me invite the representative of the Vice Chancellor of Chukwuemeka of the Ojukwu University to present the last award. Dr. Oke, please.
I have the pleasure to present this award to Dr. Linda Agwakemi, Great Zama Congo Foundation, award Pillar of Peace Award. So at this date, 11th May 2027. I hereby present it.
Let me see what's like on you.
DJ, continue. Soft music.
And I will hold my hand. It's me. Fill my heart song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for. I worship and adore. Please be true.
Now we are getting to the end of this event. And I have the honor of handing over this microphone to Professor Gary to you a lot of hands.
I think the company will gain, not will gain, will gain. Okay. Praise the Lord. Even though we are not in a Christian function, but everywhere, every time, all the place where we have to acknowledge the fact that we are praying because God wants us to pray. And any time we think otherwise, that is not really good. That's why I have to begin with the praising His name. I want to re-emphasize that various speakers, especially at the beginning of this occasion, have given a lot of appreciation to those who are supposed to be appreciated. However, since we are coming to an end of today's, not the end of the conference, but today's program, it is necessary for us to first of all thank God. What we said, what we pleaded for Him to do for us at the beginning of this occasion, He has marvelously and graciously done that. We requested Him to be with us, to always give us the good health which He has given us, to continue to stay here from the beginning to the end. We also requested Him to make it possible for our presenters, those that are spoken to us, to have the strength of mind and body to be able to present what they have come with, and they have done that. We also requested Him to give us the privilege to have the ears, the patience to continue to stay, and they have done that. So after thanking God, we want to thank the organizers, the conveners of this conference, started from the initiator, the go-getter, a great inspirator in the person of Professor Chief Barrister Florence O. Orabese. And we give him an applause. We want to thank him. We will also extend our appreciation to the co-convener. And we want to believe that the representative, the HOD of the Department of Business and National Studies, Superintendent of the Negu University, will convey his appreciation to the Vice Chancellor, who is here in spirit, but is not able to make it personally, physically. So we are grateful, and the foundation sends its appreciation up from the fire to the university, especially the university management. We want to thank our keynote presenter, who is no longer here. We were able to drink from the fountain of his knowledge. We want to appreciate him for coming, not only coming alone. He came with all the principal officers of the university. And I think that every one of us is going home today with some piece of information that we have learned from him.
what which he gave us. We will not fail to thank our presenter, those who have traveled all the way from Kano, from Abuja, to come here to be with us. We cannot thank you enough. And even though the person who will say that prayer will say, but maybe for chair, I will ask God that when you are going back, not that you will go back with the legs you came with, or better than you came with. The leg you came with is going to be improved. I'm just trying to translate. It is going to be improved. So we want that when you are going back, all the good things you encountered on the road, the ones you will encounter as you are going back will be better than the ones you encountered in Jesus' name. We don't thank you for what you have told us during your presentation of papers. We will also try to appreciate the chairman of this occasion. When I was with him waiting for this occasion to start, I was encouraged by his continued stay, but he was worried that he had other appointments. When we are saying that, the appointment person I had at 2 o'clock was cancelled, and I said, thank God. But I appreciate the cancellation of my own appointment. But his phone submitted. But probably, since he is still there, maybe his own appointment has also been maybe suspended, not cancelled. So we want to appreciate you, our chairman, for staying since morning up to this time. And the company, you know, today is just the opening ceremony. So we'll continue tomorrow. But you cannot forget to thank you, to appreciate you, your patience. We, lot of us who are here, there's a time we noticed that even water has not been given to you. And you needed water, even more than the food that we are eating now. Because water is life. So I think it was also based on our complex that something started happening. So what appreciate your patience, what appreciate your indulgence, and we want to encourage you not to go in a hurry. So the papers you have brought to present, you have to present them. And I want to end this appreciation by thanking other members of the high table whose names have not been mentioned. Of course, that you are here means that you are recognized. I want to appreciate your coming and say it is a yearly occurrence. So we were here last year, we are here this year, and we pray that next year we are going to be here better than we have find ourselves this year. Jesus' name. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that robust vote of thanks from Professor Ogeji. I pronounced well. If I didn't, tell me to go home and sing no more. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Okay, I've been asked by of this program to invite any practicing Muslim in this building for the closing prayer, please. I understand that the Chief Imam of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka Mosque. Okay, I understand that the Chief Imam is represented by Dr. Shetima Abdullahi. Thank you.
In the name of the Lord, I must start the day of goodness. Now I know we worship, and now I know we sing for him. Guide us to the steadfast path of those whom you love, not of those whom you are angry with, not of those who go astray. Oh God, it is the time that we are passing a difficult time to this country, where because of country, tribal wishes, and all these kind of opportunities, and this kind of purpose. Please, oh Lord, we pray that your beautiful names join us together. We didn't have any country except Nigeria, and we have any place except Nigeria. Nowhere to go. Oh God, let us have the peace and the peace that comes from the understanding of the differences. To know that religion or tribe. It's not by our wishes. You made us into our tribe, into our places, for us to understand ourselves, not to be right. And these we pray in Allah's name. Amen.
Thank you. That was Dr. Abdullahi Shetima. He is a lecturer from the Department of Vocational Education, University of Nigeria. So that the representative of the Chief Imam of the University of Nigeria Mosque. Thank you. We appreciate you. Okay, I want to inform you that this is just the ceremonial part of it, right? So I want to inform you that tomorrow the main business of the day of this ceremony starts, the panel sessions and what have you. And I understand it will start at 9 a.m., right? Not the African time. I mean 9 a.m. prompt. So we start venue, J. Marriott Hotels in Soka, 9 a.m. tomorrow. We come here and we start dissecting the topics we have. All right? I understand some of you are already eating. I've been asked to tell you that once you are done eating, you can come outside for a group photograph with selected persons. I believe the convener would, and then the chairman of the LOC would know how to achieve that, to make sure that the group photograph is actualized. So, on that note, Chairman, please, Mr. Chairman, you can give us your closing remarks so we say goodbye. The chairman said he has finished. So, continue to enjoy yourself. We've come to the end of today's program, but I've not said it is the end of